From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your MTN Statewide News this Veterans Day. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, President-elect Joe Biden spending the day at his workspace in Wilmington, Delaware, meeting with advisors working on the presidential transition. But the Biden camp is having to work on that transition alone because President Trump is not yet accepting the results of last week's election. Skylar Henry is at the White House.
President Trump commemorated Veterans Day laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. While President-elect Joe Biden took time out from working on the transition to attend a ceremony in Philadelphia.
In their memory and all those others who did not come home.
President Trump is still not recognizing Mr. Biden as the president-elect. The Trump campaign has filed a new lawsuit in Michigan with 234 pages of affidavits claiming voting irregularities. And Georgia's Secretary of State announced a full-hand recount of every vote to ensure the validity of the results.
This will help build confidence. It will be an audit, a recount, and a recanvass all at once.
President Trump's refusal to accept the outcome of the election means President-elect Joe Biden is not receiving daily intelligence briefings incoming presidents typically receive.
Access to classified information is useful, but I'm not in a position to make any decisions on those issues anyway. There's one, as I said, one president at a time.
Mr. Biden received calls from world leaders Tuesday, including British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and French President Emmanuel Macron.
Ready to congratulate you.
However, CBS News has confirmed the State Department is not assisting with those calls. And Secretary of State Mike Pompeo suggested Tuesday there may not be a Biden administration.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
President-elect Biden said Republicans will eventually accept his presidency. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump picked up more Electoral College votes Wednesday when CBS News called Alaska for the president. CBS News also determined that Alaska Republican Dan Sullivan has won re-election to the Senate. It's time now to check in on the weather scene with meteorologist Ed McIntosh. It's not bad out there.
If you're in parts of the state, other parts of the state, let's take a look at some of the pictures from around the region. Let's start over in Butte because we do have some cold pictures there to take a look at with snow on the ground, 20 degrees right now, a little bit of a west breeze to go along with it. And well, the sky is starting to clear out around Helena. It's still at 25 degrees. Most of the state just isn't going to warm up very much. In Bozeman today, you can see a lookout towards the stadium with only 24 degrees. The winds, fortunately, are fairly light there, but it's still affecting visibility. Take a closer look around Flathead Lake near Polson. The visibility very poor, but the scene from Whitefish, that looks pretty inviting there. We'll take a closer look at the forecast details coming up.
Well, Montana County Health Authorities announced another 7 COVID-19 related deaths today. Those individuals, 2 in Roosevelt County and 1 in each Yellowstone, Custer, Deer Lodge, Granite, and Webo counties. MTN News now reports this brings the statewide total deaths of COVID-related illnesses to 497. Well, 500 people are in hospitals across Montana, but help is on the way. A spokesperson for Senator Steve Daines says Montana will get more than 700 vials of the newly approved Eli Lilly antibody drug this week. Now, the state reports nearly 1,000 new confirmed cases today. Well, making national headlines, the rapid spread in Wyoming COVID cases. Health leaders in Wyoming announced 13 more deaths related to COVID-19 yesterday afternoon. All of them happened in October, and officials say nearly all of the patients had underlying health conditions. 5 of those deaths were from Laramie County, and 4 of those patients were residents of a long-term care facility now dealing with an outbreak. Well, with temperatures dropping and the coronavirus still causing strain on the economy, there's help to pay your energy bills. Anyone who lives in Montana is eligible for the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. Now, the program is federally funded through the Department of Health and Human Services and offers financial assistance for anyone struggling to pay their heating or cooling costs. The program typically serves around 20,000 households across the state. Now it is open to households that meet income requirements, for example, around $25,000 a year for one person or $48,000 a year for a family of 4. Now those who receive SNAP benefits or other forms of assistance may qualify automatically. Well, in Montana's elections, you may wonder how the polls got it so wrong. Now, most predicted toss-ups in the governor, Senate, and House races usually favored the GOP candidates, but only by single digits. Republicans ended up winning all of those races by at least 10 points apiece. Experts say young people may have thrown off polling. They're the least likely to respond to those questions, and most appeared to support Republicans this year. Yet some believe it may have all boiled down just to voter turnout.
There are just a lot more Republicans in Montana than there are Democrats. And so if you have a higher turnout, well, that might very well mean that you just are turning out more Republicans who, for whatever reason, haven't chosen to vote in the past.
A polling service from Boston used text messaging to reach out to Montanans and garnered a larger response from young people. That poll came the closest to predicting Montana outcomes and was within a percentage point for both the Senate and governor's race. Well, legalizing marijuana in Montana also means decriminalizing it, and that means someone with a criminal record may be able to get it removed. Experts say a person can file for expungement under the new law. A judge would then have the option to downgrade charges from felonies to misdemeanors or civil infractions. A judge could also throw out the charges completely or do nothing if the person is deemed a public safety threat. No matter the decision, the process could take a while.
This depends a lot on how the courts want to hold their own procedure, and every court is different. Typically, in the cases in which we've sought expungement for misdemeanor offenses under a different section of the code, that typically takes a couple of months.
Even under the new law, it is still illegal to possess more than 2 ounces of marijuana. Well, after a quick break, you'll want to lace up your sneakers. We'll take you for a walk in Great Falls with a man spreading hope one step at a time. But first, meteorologist Ed McIntosh joins us with your statewide weather forecast.